Hey guys, it's Amanda, also known as Amateur Aries, and today I'm with my husband, Zachary. And we have we have like 2 questions, but we might add a few things here and there. So we have a few questions from Marizelda. Okay, well, she's from Instagram and she asked us 2 questions, which is our love story and how we met, how exactly he supports me mentally. So we met when we were little. I was friends with one of his friends' brothers. And we ended up meeting, we ended up hanging out. We weren't really friends, but we were around each other because I hung out with his best friend's brother all the time, who was older. But then he grew up a little bit, and I started having that delusion about being an elf. And I actually brought it to you guys. But you guys thought it was all just game and play.
Yeah,
I took it seriously.
All our one of our friends was a werewolf, one of them was a vampire, and I was a barbarian. Like, I wasn't anything mythical. I was just something that killed the mythical creatures.
No, David was a vampire.
Well, I said one of them. I was a barbarian. Because I used the double-sided axe.
Aaron must have been the werewolf, which I thought was ridiculous. By the way, we're going to say their real names because we're very close to them, and they probably would want us to say their real names.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, you thought that was ridiculous, huh? And I'll be like, yeah.
They kind of went around with it. Like, I was serious, and I'm like, oh, let's go find a fort in the woods and everything, practice sword fighting and everything, because that's the stuff I was into. They were totally down with it. David would go all the way fighting. He was the older brother, by the way, who I was friends with. And we would literally use real swords to sword fight all the time. And I had these 3 idiots fighting against me. And I won. Real swords.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I never fought her. She fought those two.
You came at me. You came at me with your axe. He had this double-sided axe. It was not sharpened. Was it sharpened?
It was sharp. We actually had a double-sided axe, and it was real, and we fought with, like, real weapons, okay? It was bad.
I think David had the size.
He used size, and he also used his dragon katana.
Yeah, but I was using his katana.
You were using Aaron's short sword, and Aaron was using his giant dragon dagger, like the fat one.
Either way, I won.
And it's like...
And David will deny it to this day. He's one of those type of guys who, no matter what, he'll never lose to a woman. I beat him in Super Smash Brothers. He still denies it to this day.
Yeah, and... I mean, she even broke one of the swords once. Like, literally, like, she went to fling it once, and I saw, like, the blade just go...
It wasn't a fling. I actually had collided with David's weapon, and it went up into the air. That's how you don't know it's a fake sword.
Well, the pin... the sword didn't break, by the way. It was the pins in the handle.
Either way. That's when we were, like, I say... how old were you?
I was 13, so you must have been 15.
Yeah, well, I was 15. David must have been 16. And then years later, I met this guy in my high school named Jonathan. I have some beef with that guy. And I'm going to say his real name because, honestly, I don't remember. I said I'm going to say his real name.
Oh, I thought you said no.
But I don't even have I don't have any connections with him anymore for reasons that I don't like talking about. But he was friends with another guy, try not to say their names, who was best friends with him. Or not really still best friends, but he was, like, obsessed with him. When I say obsessed, he always talked about Zach all the time. And he's like, oh, one day, both of them, John and the other one, came over to my house. I'm going to just call him Sam.
Sure.
I'm just going to call him Sam. It's not even close to his name, although I kind of almost spilled it out earlier. Well, John and Sam came over to my house, and Sam was like, I have this cool friend we should hang out with. We should hang out with this kid. He's like the coolest guy. He really did talk you up, by the way. Okay, whatever. Where does he live? Because I was the leader of the group for some stupid reason. So we go down the street because he tells me you live down the street. I'm like, a Zach that lives down the street. Huh? Because we all live down the street from each other anyways. I was like, who could it be? And I hadn't seen him since he was 13, and now you would have been, how old? 6?
I was 15? 17.
No.
I was 16 because that's when he started driving me back and forth from school too. So I was a sophomore.
Okay, so he was that age. And I'm walking down the street. I see Zach coming down the street. He has a towel on here, greased back with water.
No. I didn't have it greased back. I had my...
You didn't have long hair this time.
Okay, I had my douche skater hair, even though I wasn't a skater. All I did was grow out my hair and wear a beanie, and it curled up, and I just looked like a douche.
You didn't have that hair, though.
I recall having it.
No, you didn't, because I did not find that attractive at all. When I saw you, I said, hot damn.
Well... I mean,
he had it short. He kind of had it similar like this, but his is longer here. Maybe you were going out and it was just getting close to it. Either way, he had a little bit longer and it was like greased back like this, which is a trait I don't really care for, but it wasn't Zach anymore. It was this. It was this beefed up, toned guy who I was like, nah, that's not the same Zach. No way. That's not the chunky little monkey that I remember playing swords with. And I was like, I messed up. I should have stayed with that kid. But either way, many years later, I drove him back and forth in school, high school, lecturing about not doing bad boy stuff, which he did anyways.
Yeah.
And finally, after I graduated, maybe I was 23, 22.
We're both out of school, by the way. She doesn't mean like right after she graduated, she went and like cradle robbed me.
So many years later. You're only 2 years younger than me.
I'm still younger.
Anyway, 2 years later, not 2 years later, he's 2 years younger than me. You were 19, so I was 22. No, I was 21.
Me and you got together when I was 20.
I was 22. Anyway, somewhere around that time, I was driving back from the post office and I drove down his road, which I did intentionally a lot because I wanted to see him again. I missed him. I would have these weird dreams about him. Like I come driving down, intentionally going down that road specifically to see if I would see him or any of our old friends because they all moved away. I thought he had moved away, but he actually still lived down that street and everything like that.
I literally moved once while in the time I knew her, and I literally moved from this house right next door to the house.
You lived in New Hampshire for a while too.
I lived in New Hampshire for 3 months, and that was with roommates.
Either way, you were gone. So
3 months.
I went down the street often in hopes I would run into those guys. I ended up finding him walking his little small dogs down the street. He had Jack Russells. And I pulled up, I passed him thinking, that was that. And at that time I was telling myself a lot, like even before I saw him, like whenever you think about doing something, just do it. Don't stop, don't pause, just do it kind of thing. And I said I should turn around. And so I turned around and I said, hey, it's been a while. And he got my number. And apparently he went home and he tweaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
So tweaked the crap out.
Okay, so let me tell you a piece of the story that she didn't tell you.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna go grab a drink. You can continue.
When I was a kid, even though I didn't know what my feelings were for women at the time when I was really young, but I always kind of liked Amanda from when I first met her. When I got older, I realized what it was, you know, the birds and the bees, yada yada, and I realized what my feelings for her were. So from there, like, I always thought she was out of my league. Like, she was a boy, but a girl, because she did boy things, and I could just be like, awesome, this is awesome. I can have so much to relate with her. She was a video gamer, still is.
Can you scoot a little bit more? Like, I see a whole bunch of that over there, and I'm like, in this trying to stay in the camera view. Okay.
Still is, you know, it's something that we do passionately together, is play video games.
That's how I live.
Yeah, it's basically how me and her relationships are, you know, it's like it's video games. It's all video games for us. When I got her number that day, I told myself, screw it, there's no reason why I can't try. And that day I I didn't do the 3-day rule once you get someone's number. I called her the next day, said, hey, you want to hang? And that's kind of how it started.
We went bowling that night.
Yeah, literally.
Because that's my favorite type of date. I love bowling.
So do I. I love bowling.
And then the next date was... So the next day, he asked me to come over where Aaron, who I hadn't seen since he was actually, like, I think 13 also, was there, which made it really uncomfortable because I hadn't seen these guys in forever. And if I'm surrounded by people I'm uncomfortable with, like, I was kind of uncomfortable around him by himself because I just have discomfort around people at first sometimes. And, like, it was just an awkward situation for me right off the start. Luckily, I had my friend come with me, too.
You know, like 3. It's okay.
Her name is... We're gonna name her Venus.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Venus. No, anyway. She ended up coming with me, luckily, because at the time she was taking care of me when my schizophrenia and my borderline was getting really, really bad. She was my caretaker. She was actually gonna... She was actually become, what was it called? She was gonna become my proxy. And she was ready to sign the papers and everything like that because she studied in nursing and she was a nurse for a while. She knew how to take care of me. And, well, in the end, we stopped being friends because I think there's a reason why she had a crush on him and I didn't know about it. And so we started a relationship and I only found out she had a crush on him after the fact, and I felt terrible. I even said to her, I can leave him. We're not that deep in a relationship yet. I was like 2 months in. Like, we're not that deep in a relationship yet. He's still a great friend. He's still, yeah, he says otherwise. She told me not to do it, and we ended up not doing it. But either way, she just stopped being friends with us. So that night, we all hung out on the beach. He sent us, some other friend came with, your friend that you came with. We're not going to say his name either. And we're just going to call him Mike. He came with, and he was just like, okay, this is a bad side of you I don't care for. Because at the time, he was like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and no one's going to stop me from doing it, because that's the way I live. That's my motto. He was one of those guys who thought he was all, I'm going to say the word, gangsta. And in reality, he was really not-sa.
Yeah, you see this pretty little face right here? That's all her.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, the thing is I knew his potential since he was little. He was always, although he was a chunky monkey, he was very handsome, and I knew that. I just didn't have feelings for him at the time because there's time periods I just didn't have feelings for anyone because my disorders made it hard for me to attach to people like that. And I can explain that with all my relationships in some parts in here and there. So either way, a day after that, he finally asked me to come over to his house. And this story is going to be long. Sorry for all that. And he asked me, let's hang out with you, just you and I. And I was like, okay. And his way of hanging out was cuddling on the bed while watching ridiculousness.
I like to cuddle and watch funny things, okay?
Mind you, we were only hanging out for 3 days. I'm like, I don't want to sit next to you and lay next to you with you spooning me. Why would I want that? Can we go do something fun? Like bowling again?
Look, and here's another thing I gotta say. I'm not like a professional with women, and I don't think any guy really is, unless, you know, they're a player, and there's a reason why they're a player. They're not in a serious relationship. But I've learned so much from being with her.
Oh, he's definitely better now.
I mean, I still mess up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
We'll get to that next.
But what I thought was a good thing to do to, like, just chill wasn't a thing to do. Like, you, as a guy and a girl just beginning to date, you don't just, like, lay down and watch TV together. No, you don't do that. That's after, like, so long of being in a relationship. That's something that you guys could regularly do together when you guys really don't want to do anything. We're
probably going to cut this half and make a part 1 and part 2, so I'm just going to say that randomly at a time when we get to a good part, because this is getting long and she had more questions.
Okay.
So, it was just really awkward. We didn't officially start dating until, like, maybe a month even after that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had to beg. I begged. Like,
No. We're gonna stop now. We're gonna do part 2. So, like, comment, and subscribe, wave. And we'll be seeing you in part 2.